than 2 seconds prior to hitting start stream to ruin it. GG, gentlemen. GG.
So we're here.
That's right. Welcome to another exciting episode of Aurok and Roll.
Let's not be presumptuous. No.
The last few episodes have been pretty
They've been pretty great.
knicker tightening.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. This last one was full of a lot of death.
Yes, it was. The city of Songholm was besieged by the Hedge.
By my dude.
And our boys took them down and closed the portal successfully, shunting the aggression towards the city.
Nobody can read that.
Fucking Raska.
Nobody liked
May I
that
see
guy.
it? I mean, did somebody want to hold on to that
Chris was.
for funsies? Okay,
He's the one that killed him.
that's fair.
I overkilled him. I saw it pop up
Yeah, you
on
did.
the screen.
And I helped.
I don't think there was a person who did not help. So, I am your plague bearer this evening. Jared is enraged. If you hear a cough drop being sucked on, it's probably me. And if you hear, also me. So, apologies in advance.
Excellent audio, my dude.
Yep, get ready for this fucking exciting shit show today. We're just hoping that I can stick with it long enough while I drink while sick. Seems like a good combination.
Excellent.
You drink to your health. Yeah, whatever.
To health. And to like the 4 shots of booze that are in both of your cups.
Yes.
Bruh.
We play better when we're...
Yeah, you do.
Maybe I'll find my voice.
Yeah, to be fair, like I was pouring and then I stopped and Makola was like, I was like, okay. That's what we were laughing about.
And then it went a little...
And then you were like,
And then it went a little too much.
yeah, I could,
Jared.
yeah.
Oh, no, Dad's here.
Like that, my dude.
Yep.
All right.
I am joined this evening by,
Makolo. Or MTBS.
and what is your character's name, Makolo?
I am Appolok.
What do you do?
I'm a ranger.
Yeah, you are.
I shoot stuff with my bow.
Indeed.
A.K.A. Bone Daddy.
Bone Daddy. Hashtag Bone Daddy.
And next to him,
You should just be a Reaper skin at this point.
Yeah. Speaking of Overwatch, I'm Winston. I mean, Carric. Or I'm sorry. I am Dan.
I like that you're already starting to blur.
I play Carric, who is a verbal druid. And
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to tell your life story with the way that you were getting into your character.
oh, my life story, as always, is I enjoy long walks in the forest and turning into fell wolves. Also, pina coladas.
Turning into does.
And turning into does and seducing bucks.
Anyway, I'm Chris. I play Turkyr, the paladin, also known as the half-orc slayer at this point, because that's what I'm going with.
Oh,
AKA the only moral compass these guys have.
true. I'm just dim-witted.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
You have a moral compass. It's just, it doesn't point anywhere. It's just, it just doesn't point bad.
It's Jack Sparrow's compass where it's just like going in circles the whole fucking time.
Well, you know, that's part of being neutral good, right?
Sure. Sure. I don't know. Anyway,
All right.
what are we doing?
So enough with the pleasantries. We'll go ahead and get started. Last off, you guys exited into the hedge and sealed the portal with Nicodemus and Bale in tow. And you guys made your way. You explored the hedge a little bit and found a mystical temple. It's more like a ziggurat, like an Aztec and ziggurat. There you met somebody who actually does have a name. It's not that dumb shit that I just off the cuff threw last time.
Turtle Man.
Poplock.
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 I was going to
Poplock.
ask if that
And
was
his
like
last name was and drop it.
a long lost relative of my character.
Nope. Poplock. His actual name is Dordoka.
I kind of like pop and lock.
Nice.
Well, that's not it.
Spoon Man would disagree.
I mean, Spoon Man will always be Spoon Man. Someday when we circle back to Rufus, we'll talk to Spoon Man once again. And he'll reveal his actual voice is that of Chris Cornell. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
That's an interesting spell.
At the top
Spoon Man?
of this ziggurat and at the main entrance, you guys were greeted by a shirtless, very pale wild elf with very intense yellow eyes and long white hair. And he introduced himself as Prince Vane.
AKA a dude from Golden Army.
Like, more slender, but yeah, less muscular than Luke Goss.
That's who I pictured when you said that last week.
Yep, it's kind of like it. And he welcomed you to the temple and gave you guys an offered shelter and to break bread. And he has stated that this is a safe place in the hedge, protected by himself and the master of the grounds, Dordoka. And that's where we left off.
All right.
I will let you gentlemen pick it back up.
All right, so what's the scene? Are we still standing in front of Vane?
Mm-hmm. We just left off with him just basically saying you guys can stay here if you would like. You haven't even slept yet.
Okay. All right. Insane.
Okay, so I'm going to go to Vane, and I'm going to say, I appreciate your hospitality. The rest is welcome. And if you don't mind, I'd like to go ahead and take my rest now.
Of course. He will walk you guys over to down some stairs to a side room where there are plenty of beds. All of them have been made. There's foot lockers at the front of them. There isn't really anything else in the room. They seem pretty barren. Mm-hmm. So it also looks fairly clean for as old as this temple looks. There isn't any dust or dirt on the floor.
I walk to a bed and sit down on it and take off my dusty boots.
There you go.
I'm going to also go and get some rest.
Yeah.
Since I took some pretty big beatings last round.
Absolutely.
And considering I'm at 14 hit points, I will go ahead and join.
No problem.
Do we have like a communal room, or are we all in separate rooms in the ziggurat?
It's all the same room. Yeah, it's like a barracks where there's multiple beds.
You guys want to build bunk beds?
I'm already.
What? Did we just become best friends?
I'm already asleep as that is happening.
Yes.
Would you guys like to do karate in the ziggurat? That's a goof. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep.
Oh yeah, you guys are all sawing logs, especially after that battle. Nicodemus is like the last person to fall asleep. You just see him like sitting Indian style on a bed, reading, and then
he still has books.
What do you think he hides under his robes?
Just pulls out another book.
He's like Neo. With Neo has all the guns. Those are books.
He's just got like body armor, but it's literally just books.
keys or belts or loose change, and he's just like, and it's just books.
Oh, I know how to read.
You guys wake up a few hours later, and all of the dirt from your items that you took off and threw about the floor is clean. Your boots are cleaner.
Hey.
I'm gonna say I slept in my armor because I don't know what's gonna happen if I ever take it off.
I don't think you can.
You don't feel uncomfortable when you sleep in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to risk that yet.
So, all right, so we woken up and everything's clean. So, I guess I'll try to find Prince Vane.
Yeah, he's not hard to find. You basically just walk upstairs and you see him training, and he has like a spear in one hand and a sword in the other, and is practicing, for lack of a better term, a kata, which is probably a form of exercise that you're not very familiar with. But he appears to be drilling in some form or fashion, and appears to be incredibly in the moment.
I will stand at a respectable distance and just kind of wait for him to finish his forms.
Yeah. He finishes and then looks over to you and says, "Greetings, Furbolg.
Greetings, Prince Vane.
I did not happen to catch your names, though I am familiar with your race."
As a Furbolg, I typically have no use for a name, but you may call me Carric.
"Then that is what I shall call you." You see him like kind of go over to the wall, and he like puts the sword down like in against like a wooden pier where weapons are, and then he kind of like moves, and like you see like a little faucet, and he just kind of like turns it on, and you see like water fall through the roof into like a drain. It hits the floor. And then he like turns it off and picks up his spear and like kind of resumes his stance, and then see him strike like towards where the water was falling from the drain. But make me a perception check.
Perception. 10.
You think he is cutting water droplets in half.
Oof.
That is his intention. With the random water that just kind of still drips, you think he is attempting to cut through the drips. The moves are too quick, and the water is falling a little faster than your eyes can catch, so you're not sure if he's successful or not. Cutting down to you two, you guys are waking up. What are you guys doing?
Taking my sweet time.
You notice that everything that you took off is cleaner. There's no dirt on the bottom of your boots. I mean, they don't look like shined or anything, but they look
Cleaner.
clean. They look like you're not going to track dirt around.
That is correct. I can't figure out why the lighting all of a sudden is so blown out. Considering we're using the same lighting we always have. Oh well. Welcome to my condo.
Indeed.
And we're in Delray Beach, please.
Yeah.
Somebody can take the top off. This would be better.
So I would just be quizzically inspecting all of my clothing, making sure that everything was still up to par with how it was beforehand.
While your armor doesn't look any shinier, it looks like somebody oiled the ring for you.
Interesting.
I'd put everything back on then.
Yeah. Feel like it's in better condition than when you took it off. Absolutely.
Sweet.
Probably just gonna get up and see what's going on outside of the room.
What were you wielding, Chris? You were wielding a sword?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
wielding the Helfin.
You did not use the warhammer, right?
No.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, can you put that on your character sheet?
What?
The Ancestral Blade? You already have it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take it off mine.
I have it in my equipped as AS Helfin.
Sweet.
I had to granny mix sermons to you.
Damn right. He's Irish.
I'm not at all.
So,
Well, you've checked out your armor. You're awake. Nothing's really changed for you unless you took stuff off.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna walk out of the room and see what's going on outside.
You like walk upstairs because you wouldn't have taken that long then if you weren't doing anything. He has to put on his stuff. You probably would have walked up at about the same time Vane was talking to him, so you'd have caught the tail end of the conversation. Go ahead and roll me perception, Ranger McRangerson.
15.
You see him, this dude, cutting as water drops fall from a hole in the ceiling. You see him like take a spear and slice the water drops in half.
Noise.
It's an intense form of training.
Accuracy, precision, and power are all tools that must be balanced. That is what we teach here.
I'm going to say to him, that is very impressive. I do not feel, and I'm going to take my Spear of Thailand out and hold it. I do not feel as I am very adept with this spear. Might you care to show me a thing or two? Thanks, Sav.
Cute. Yeah, he like looks over, stops, and says, "The greatest knowledge that I can teach you is knowledge of the self. The rest is up to you. And but if confidence is what you seek, step forward." He like ushers you forward, and he kind of like corrects your posture a little bit. He like takes his spear and like smacks the inside of your thigh and is like, "Space out your legs, stand up. Now drive your shoulders and then lunge with your arms. Follow through with your shoulders, you know." And he's just kind of like going through it slowly. And he says, "Work on this."
He's ghosting you, bro.
Not quite that. He's more like walking around and like smacking your limbs with the edge of the back of his spear and putting him into place. And he's like, "Go through this motion slowly until it flows like water. Then apply power."
See, she gets it.
Just two guys playing with spears, Sav, please.
That's all. Just two dudes playing with hardwood.
Got me.
All right, so I'm going to continue to practice.
Sure. Yep. And he'll like watch. He'll go around to like the other side and face you and resume like cutting water. You guys can make a perception check if you like, unless you're gonna say something before.
I was gonna
Interject if you like.
Are you trained in other forms of weaponry besides?
Almost all. Yep. That's what he's doing. Cutting water. Like a BAMF.
Would you happen to have any arrows about?
Normally, if I can convince myself to be patient enough with Dordoka, and I have literally days to burn, I'll ask him to shoot them at me.
It's a turtle joke, y'all.
I'm sure you met him. He's been on his way up the steps of the ziggurat since you guys came. He just hasn't made it here yet.
Can I roll that perception?
Sure. Go ahead and roll perception.
12.
Okay.
16.
Okay. So, McCall, you notice that he's not actually... It looks like he's cutting the water drops in half, and he certainly is, but what he's actually doing is he's sending out his spear and stopping the water. And then with, like, the stop of the spear, it flicks the water back up. And then he makes another cut as it starts to fall and retracts the spear. He's doing some, like, super high level, only ever seen in Jet Li movies shit.
Ultra instinct, y'all.
Yep.
He
is Donnie Yen from Hero.
The one.
All right, so I'm going to continue practicing, and I'm going to like awkwardly splash water.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not hitting any water drops.
No.
I hope you're making those noises too.
It's
Feel
more
better.
Yeah, it's more like a and then I'm
Yeah.
like, nothing happens.
How many have been trained through here?
This temple has been in existence, I would say, about as long as the hedge has existed. And before I taught here, there were several others. Dordoka would know more. He's been here for much, much longer.
Now, are they trained For the art of war or more self-defense?
Like I said, the knowledge that's taught here is more about knowledge of the self than anything else. Beneath your feet lies the ultimate reward for those who do know themselves. Knowledge of the self is in this temple. Once that is conquered, knowledge of what you need will become apparent.
Beneath our feet. I'm going to put my hand on the ground and do a nature check.
Sure. Go ahead and roll it.
That's a 21.
This is the oldest stone you've ever laid your hands on for sure. And as you touch it, kind of feel the pulse of nature within this place. It doesn't feel like a man-made building, even though it is obviously some kind of construct that wasn't made by nature. It feels alive and is breathing. And you feel like its breath is a much farther away than like the base of the temple. Like if you were outside the temple at the front of the steps that lead all the way up to the top, you would feel like the breath is still beneath your feet in this temple. You think this place goes far deeper than it looks.
All right.
Am I still just putting my gear on?
If you want to be. It's up to you. How long do you want to take?
As long as it needs for me to put everything on.
You basically could be walking up and see, you would have heard that conversation walking up the steps. And you see him like touch the ground of the temple and see him in deep contemplative thought.
Were you born in the hedge?
Yes. Like most wild elves. Though I was born in your world as well. Back before the boundaries were made.
Mm-hmm.
To which boundaries are you speaking?
Boundary between hedge and reality.
This is where I interject. There used to not be a boundary.
No, all worlds converged over the planet Everus and fought for domination. Through that chaos, the Venar and the Aesir, and the Veneer, essentially set up the rules of the world, along with the god Ever himself. Those boundaries were forged to keep our world separate. They saw the influence of the hedge and its Psi Masters as cancer.
Dog's unimpressed as always.
Yep.
It's Nicodemus.
Nicodemus reading over there in the corner.
Nicodemus is just like, shit, I already knew.
You're not even in the room.
I know. You see, Bale gets up from his bed and is actually walking behind you and following you up the stairs as well, Turkyr.
I forgot he was even here with
Yeah, I
us.
was about to say he came with us. To
Yeah,
the
he
portal?
fought through. Yeah, he followed through at the last second. He didn't really have a big talking part because A, I was drinking and I was more focused on like y'all's story. And then like B, there was a lot going on at the end of last session. And I really wanted to get you guys like through and then just not stuck. So I kind of VOD'd some stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, Bale
All right.
is totally here.
Cool.
Yep. He's like, somebody cleaned all the blood off my sword. That's cool. And that's all you got. He doesn't make any other remarks, really.
So, Bale, how obviously pride served you well, but did you kill many with the blade?
I killed more than I thought I would be able to, and I was very successful. He seems a little at odds because you asked him how many wild elves he killed while there's a wild elf in the room. So he's just kind of looking at this dude who's cutting water droplets in half, choosing his words very carefully. He's like, I did better than some and not as good as I hoped, to be honest, but we saved the city of Songholm. And you guys noticed that that Prince Vane doesn't even like bat an eyelash. Would like the conversation. So that Bale kind of looks up at him and says, "What do you know of Songholm?" He stops, scratches his head. Almost nothing. Your trivialities are beneath what I would consider worth learning of.
Spear.
Splish.
And Bill's like, oh, okay. That's cool.
All right.
Have you gone? I'm going to talk to Thane
Sure.
again. Have you gone beyond the hedge?
Yes. I was a citizen of Volkia, where the gods made us turn it over.
Ancient.
I have. It's quite possible that you would have had cousins and uncles and been of different lineage, if not for who I once was, as I was known during my time to have quite an aptitude at slaying humans, as well as any other god who took up patronage with you and your people. I do not mean to be insulting, I mean to be candid. You ask, it is my job to answer.
There was no offense taken.
You're like, what do I care? I died and came back.
A candid statement deserves a candid question. Have you any allegiance with those who attacked our plane?
So, what did the Sai call themselves? The Sidhi. Does anyone know? What did I refer to them as? What do people refer to the Sidhi as? What is their title? And just roll intelligence checks, everybody.
2.
14.
It eludes you because, titles and all.
Yeah.
Nat 20.
Cool. Sidhi Masters. People keep referring to them as the Masters. Like, everybody has called them the Masters, even the king. So, yeah, that's what rings out to you two in particular. You're just like, I have no use for the triviality of titles.
You are elf.
You are not wrong. Yes, Masters. The Sidhi Masters. If they are Masters, I am a prince. What would stop me from taking my crown? I would beg to ask. They stand in the way of my vanity, or at least they did. I made them my enemy. Then I found the path, this temple, here. I have not thrown my title off, just to remind myself of what I am entitled to, and may one day have to take up upon myself in order to prevent them from taking what they believe they are entitled to. But my people are not yet ready to be enlightened. They are happy with the master-slave relationship. I am a prince. Bow to no man. No elf. No god. No master.
If you are prince, is there still a king?
No. Prince was a self-given and governing title of my youth. It was bestowed upon me for my merits. And I truly grew into the wealth of my appetites. It has shaped me. Make a perception check, everybody.
8.
16.
10.
Dan, you think for a split second, you don't know, you can't confirm, to make conjecture would probably be rude because you don't actually think he did it. But for a second, you think he like honed in on pride, the sword that Bale is carrying at his side. For a flash. And then his eyes were like somewhere else entirely, you know. If he was, then it was a covert maneuver on his part. No eye squinty or anything like that. It's just like his eyes rested there a little longer than maybe were natural to you. You think,
Right.
but you don't know what to think of it really.
Okay.
And you think that happened like several sentences ago in conversation. You don't think you don't think he's just like,
Yeah, just staring at it.
yeah, not at
Like
all.
the bit where he's talking about it, he bows to
He's
no
like-
man, no
Yeah,
God,
he's-
and then just kind of.
And you think it happened when he was like, I realized the voraciousness of my appetites, and like that's when you think that's when it was.
Is it safe to assume you've fought in many battles?
I cannot count them anymore. Truly.
I'm gonna maybe take an aside with the guys.
Sure.
Hey, forgive me, Prince Vane. I must talk with my companions but a moment.
Of course. Your guests. I will yield the room to you. He puts his spear down against the wall and walks outside. Whew, I feel way better.
I'm gonna.
Oh. I burped and I was like, thank God I didn't throw up in my mouth.
I'm gonna shrink down to human size.
Huddle up, guys.
Yeah, because
Bring it in, boys.
hopefully my voice won't carry as much.
Yeah, you see him like walking down the steps.
Yeah, if Nicodemus is still flitting his books down there, you can hear something.
You actually see Nicodemus coming up the stairs right now. And he's
Jesus.
like, are we huddling? Is that what we're doing? I love group activities.
Well, get in here, Nicodemus.
Do you?
Yeah, and he like pulls out a flask and he's just
His flask is another book.
it's like he actually pulls out a book, opens it, and then pulls a flask out of the cutout and like opens it, drinks it, closes it, puts it back in the book, closed.
That's a fun goof. Okay, so repeatedly Prince Vane has mentioned the knowledge of self.
Uh-huh.
Go on, Carric.
Now, this just may be my suspicion, but there's something more. He's not telling us.
You got that too, I see.
Well, I'm just role playing. Okay, well,
in
since everyone is
character.
since everyone is so intelligent and I have a +0, why doesn't everybody tell me what's going on?
Because I have merely walked into the end of the conversation. I don't know this place. I don't know where we're at. All I know is they were hospitable. So as of right now, we don't have a reason to not trust him.
You don't have like a weird vibe about this place?
I think everything that's not me is potentially evil.
I mean,
Like I'm the one wearing cursed armor right now, and I'm a little spooked.
You're evil, but we're friends and brothers.
to be fair, you actually have an ability that will tell you if something is evil.
Do I now?
Yeah, you used it in the first
Divine
the
sense?
first game, and then never ever again.
Yeah, because you told me that these guys, like, you don't really divine, like, evil from them. It's just different.
Well, I said that about the Hedge Knights in particular.
Right.
Right, they're like not undead because they were using detect undead, I thought.
Okay. So I'm going to break from the huddle. Like, just unannounced, just walk away, and I'm going to just stand in the middle of the room, and I'll use Divine Sense.
How rude.
Okay. Let us
I know not.
review for my own edification.
I feel like his spear has like a microphone. He's
I turned the spear around.
You see, like Nicodemus pull out a book, and he just like clicks a button on the side of it, and it's like beep.
Because the definition...
Clicks it. We're good, guys.
Because the definition is
Listen,
celestial, fiend, or undead.
Goofmaster
I'll be able to
5000.
detect them within 60 feet, as long as they're not behind something.
Okay. You do not detect. You do not detect any undead. You do not get that weird feeling. You get an overall sense of mania, because this is where you are is made up of that feeling of chaos and mania.
Sure.
This whole plane. But when you specifically like reach out towards Prince Vane, who's walking down the steps, and you'll even hit Dordoka. As you hit them, Dordoka resonates as he resonates as like very good, and Prince Vane is like this yin and yang of both good and evil. Like there's an element of harmony there, but there's also like an internal struggle between the both of them.
While you're over there, apparently
this-
glowing and sensing.
The temple itself does not feel evil or undead or anything like that. Though as you start to feel like deeper into the temple, you feel like your divine sense is being blocked. Like it either cannot penetrate the walls themselves,
Or something is blocking
or
it.
there would be like wards or spells or something. Yeah. It is common that if you were like in the bowels of a castle, you would not be able to reach out your full 60 feet. So you're not sure if it's that or not. But yes, those are the two things. It would either be like thick earthen fortifications that would interrupt your ability, or it would be magic related stuff that would interrupt your abilities.
But as of right now, I cannot.
Correct. You'd have to go investigate for yourself. You're fairly certain that if you got to like where you were, you'd be able to find out very quickly, though. You would either see the interaction of magical wards, or you wouldn't. And if you did not see the interaction of magical wards, then you would know that it is the fortification itself.
About to do something.
Yeah, while you're over there, experiencing the quickening.
Yep.
I'm going to look at you and say, I felt the stone, and this place breathes with a natural power. I can't describe it, nor can I really discern what it is.
Does it feel threatening at all, or just otherworldly, I guess?
Nature is nor good, or good, not good nor evil. It just is. But I felt power.
I want to turn to Nicodemus and ask him if he's knows anything about this temple or the prince.
If what he says is true, then I have a slight indication of who he might be. But I don't have very much knowledge on who that is. I'd have to collect more books and more findings. Though we are in the perfect place if we want to talk to some more demons. Like, we don't even need to summon them. We can just walk up to them. We're here. We're in their land. We need to put circles around us. Speaking of which, did anybody bring salt? No? No salt? Okay, well, we should probably get out of here pretty soon.
That should be in my survival kit, right? Salt.
I probably have some salt in my herbalism kit. No.
Salt's not an herb. The spice. If you had gotten the Colonel's herb and spice kit, it would be there.
I apologize, Nicodemus. My resources were limited when I was building this character.
Yeah, I understand. I actually wasted all of my salt a couple weeks back when we were all doing this meme. So, totally understandable.
Was that before or after running down the stairs? No.
So
All of my salt was wasted on Raska.
do you have a plan on how we can get out of here?
Yeah, we find a soft spot in the hedge and we push our way out. There are ley lines here that our world holds power over, and we can manipulate them from this side to come out just like they are. Somehow, some way, and I suspect it has to do with, the conspiracy to kill the king and all that jazz, that the boundaries between our worlds are thinning. And I suspect that this plane is only the beginning. What happens when the boundaries between Stygia and our world start to fall? Then we have a literal hell on ever situation. These creatures may be unpredictable, but I assure you they are nowhere near as dangerous as those creatures. There's a reason why I make deals with Hedge Demon, and it's because they're a lot easier to deal with than any other demon. Like, I sold some baby teeth to a demon from the hedge. Real demons want your souls.
Savannah? Nice.
Well done, 6 of 9.
So when do you think we should take our leave of this place?
I mean, they've got salt, and grab it and go. I mean, salt's not really going to protect us here, but it'll make do in a pinch. So long as we're not all making tank-ass memes the whole fucking time. Somebody will also have to be responsible for carrying it, because I cannot be trusted.
3 guesses. The first 2 don't count.
Ah, yes, the back mule.
Okay.
I mean, they seem forthcoming enough. We don't have, there's no such thing as a map of the hedge. This is one of the few locations that appears to not change or morph, obviously, based on how long it's been here and how old the structure is. But literally everything else around it is constantly changing and moving. If we step out 20 steps from this temple and turn around, we might not find it again. So perhaps we should discuss with them how to find ley lines, which ley lines are also places that do not typically move. Typically. Everything is unpredictable here. Including these people and this place in general. Very mind-boggling how we found this temple. This is a fate called us here. Vale will second. Say, I agree. We must find a way home. It's key. We get back to Songholm so we can rejoin the fight.
Who we just got here? I'm gonna say
Nicodemus is like not as eager, but yeah, sure. Songholm's boring now. Real stuff's here.
I'm going to turn to Turkyr. Turkyr, have you any thoughts on this situation?
What Nicodemus says is true. This place isn't malevolent. This place isn't out to get us. Kind of almost feels like it's a safe haven from what's out there. That being said, I don't think Thane is an enemy. I think if anything, he's an enemy to himself. But we should probably not stay as long as possible. Let's get what supplies we can from them and whatever help they can assist with, and we should start moving.
About that time, you see Tortola. You hear his staff, and you kind of like see it going over the steps. And you see Tortola, Dordoka. I was just thinking of like the mental image that pops in my head is the Tortola, the card who screams Tortola as you play it. Yeah, that's like in my head what Dordoka looks like now.
He looks like the turtle from what was it, Kung Fu Panda in my head.
Yeah, kind of, basically. So you see Vane helping Dordoka up the steps, and they kind of appear to be walking at a fairly normal pace or more average. And Dordoka will get there and slowly bow a little bit, like as much as his spell will allow him without literally plopping over. Greetings. I hope you all slept well. My walk was enjoyable.
I never know when to interject. Yeah. It's like the fucking sloth.
From
Zootopia.
Zootopia. Yeah.
Greetings. Hail and well met.
Just making sure he's not talking.
GM, did he tell us his name?
Yeah, you guys told him y'all's name. He told you his.
Right.
You didn't catch Prince Vane introduced himself, but you guys never introduced yourselves to Prince Vane.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Yep.
Greetings, Dordoka.
It is good to see fresh faces here in the temple once more. It must have called out to you.
And we are grateful for its hospitality and yours.
You are most assuredly welcome.
I love it.
Yep.
Anybody? You guys gonna?
Yeah.
Prince Vane will like bring a small table out, like set it down, start setting out like bowls and food and stuff.
Hey.
Yep. Brings out like rice, like a few other vegetables that most of you are pretty unfamiliar with.
Are there some salt shakers?
There are none.
Is Nicodemus scanning the table for salt?
He's just like, he believes. Like you see him like. Excellent. I love food. And he sits down.
Okay.
Vane will, yeah. He like grabs pillows for everybody basically to sit on around this table. It's like much lower than this. So it's like coffee table height, essentially. Just a long ass coffee table. And yeah, he like brings out some what appear to, they don't look rusty, they don't look used, they don't look dusty, or they don't look dirty or anything. But he's bringing out utensils that are like would have been in vogue like 500 years ago for your kingdoms. Well, yours. For yours, like I don't know fucking what dwarves eat with. I guess their hands still. I don't know. But he breaks out like what appear to be two shoots of like reeds for himself and Dordoka, and they begin to eat with those.
Go ahead.
I want to turn to Dordoka, and does this temple have a name?
None that I know of. No. It is safe haven to some, salvation to others, training ground, and has inevitably been the doom of others.
Who has it been the doom for?
Those who chase enlightenment blindly, without accepting its gifts or knowledge, the arrogant, the unworthy. They are beneath us. Former students, former masters. Some learn and go forth. Others fade away.
I have a question, gentle Dordoka. This place seems preternaturally clean. Is there some magic in this place that keeps it in such a state? It seems ancient, yet new in some way.
A few 1,000 years ago, I was playing cards. The person I was betting against had already lost the pot. So they bet the cleaning services of the fairies in their employ. I won. My temple has never been cleaner.
It must have been an excellent hand.
I was sitting on 2s. But that river was kind.
It sounds
Sorry,
like
you breathing is just it's making me laugh. You're like
not to laugh.
and then you'll say,
That river was sounds kind indeed. Is it a river around here? You know, because I'm an idiot.
oh yeah.
DM got it.
He like starts to go to explain, and Prince Vane just says no, and he goes. In the game of cards, stuff. That's all I have. Prince Vane is like, if you want, I will teach you how to play cards later, I guess.
What is a card? No. kidding. Kidding. Okay.
It's actually a Pazak deck.
Fuck that RNG bullshit
That
game.
was the most random piece of garbage game ever.
Just fucking triggered me. I don't want to play anymore. So I'm going to look to Dordoka and say, I don't mean to be rude or front, but I have never seen a being like you before. I sense true enlightenment and true good within you. Where do you come from?
I was taken before I knew what thought was and twisted to become the creature I am now. I do not remember what happened. I remember I was born with purpose. When I found this place, I was very young. I have kept up with it since. I am a changeling. I once was born as a human. The Cid he masters abducted me. And, like many creatures of the hedge, altered me as they saw fit. It is common. The last master of this temple, who lies beneath our feet, he is also a changeling. He was Prince Vane's predecessor.
The one you mentioned who failed you.
Prince Vane will say, no, that was an apprentice. He was like me in many ways, and also wished to earn the title of prince. He did not find enlightenment beneath our feet. Found another voice that spoke to him instead. Something that showed him his own enlightenment. He refers to himself as Prince Fane. Much, I believe, to my own chagrin. Yeah, that rings a bell with you. The master that he speaks of beneath our feet was one who perished before he was ready. He sought enlightenment and then rejected it once he found it, and therefore failed the test and perished beneath the steps that we sit on now.
I'm gonna while he said that, look at you guys.
Whereas Dordoka took on the aspects of a tortoise, the former master took on those of a lion.
What exactly is beneath our feet?
The path. Should you walk it, you'll find yourself with all manner of roads to reach it.
And this path leads to your
Yourself.
enlightenment.
No, it leads to you. You are the only one who can bring you enlightenment. Choose not to listen. I don't know what happens. I don't know how people perish.
So, okay, this is basically... It sounds like the cave from Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Okay. What?
It's it sounds like some Dagobah shit.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
It is a challenge. Mentally, physically. And like I said, it just It is designed to instruct. I would often have my students who had trained under me take the first few steps down into the interior labyrinth. See what they feel, to learn more about themselves, understand what they must fight for, which is themselves, and that they are their own salvation.
What are Bale and Nicodemus making of all this?
Nicodemus is writing stuff down in his books. Bale will interject. Well, this has been good and all, and we appreciate your hospitality, but we're looking for a way home. You know of any ley lines nearby which we could utilize to exit the hedge? And Vane kind of looks at Dordoka, and Dordoka says, why, yes. We possess the means here, should you require it.
We must.
Why the fuck are you all blinking at each other?
Irony.
Nicodemus is like, interesting. Bill says, I hate to be forward, but is there any way that we could utilize that after we are done eating? Okay. Yes. I can send you home. I cannot bring you back, however, should you choose to leave.
We must discuss our next steps.
Bale says, I have no next steps. They are to Songholm. I need to go back. My kingdom needs me.
But there's a cave of discovery.
Bale states that very clearly, I have discovered enough in the last 48 hours. Not require what is here in this temple. You kind of like your vein. You have your own path that you must walk. There is nothing for you in this temple. Nothing of any value. Who shall join him after lunch?
I'm going to look at you guys one at a time, much like this, and then go, I wish to walk the path.
I do as well.
Something compels me.
Very well. After we are finished, lead you to the first floor. I should tell you that none of you are permitted to go beneath first floor. Should you, cannot be responsible for the forces that will compel you in either direction. But I would inform you that none of you, I believe, are strong enough in the interior or exterior to face the tests.
Goddamn level blocking.
Together, perhaps. But I believe for what you seek, first floor will be of immense value.
Well,
Well, then let's chow down.
Yep, let's finish eating.
Indeed.
I'm going to take a quick moment then. Once we finish eating, I kind of want to talk to Bale.
Sure.
And we'll kind of, I guess we'll walk away from everybody for a second and just...
Sure. He like walks outside to the front entrance. Sun is. There are several suns.
Bale, I understand your desire to reach Song home and return home. But do you not wish to find the greater power that lies here?
Everything that lies here is inevitably what's attacking our realm. So yeah, I guess I could stay here and I could learn more about myself and my feelings, or I could go back home and be of some real fucking value to these people. My city, my people are in shambles. We left. There's still a war going on. We made our sacrifices. Whether you guys choose to follow or not, I know where I need to go. I need to go help our brothers and the Dragoons. I need to go help my people. I need to go. I hope you understand that.
I understand more than many the need for belonging. I know that the sword that you now carry will bestow upon you the ability to see out your desires. However, I'm worried that it will have consequences.
So we're staying here. So we're walking this path. Every action that we take is going to have an inverse and opposite reaction. You guys are going to spend time here. We don't know how much time here. Nicodemus has already stated time travels differently in the hedge. We could pop out a second after the battle's over. We could be popping out 20 years later. I'm not going to stick around here and let it be more years. This place is not for us. It's not for me, at least. This place is my enemy. And they are besieging our realm. I am of much better value there, where I can put the desire that is in my heart that this sword has vested, or that this sword has given me the ability to complete.
Vale, I compel you, as a friend and as a brother in arms. Let me return the ancestral blade of the Hellfin to you, and give me pride before it consumes you.
I am not consumed by anything other than a need to protect my people. That is my goal. And if pride helps me accomplish that, then I will gladly give it up once the deed is done. But my realm is shattered. And you guys are content eating lunch, creatures from the hedge, one who has already admitted to butchering countless humans in countless battles. He's already admitted to living in Volkia. The wild elves who lived in Volkia put our people in shackles. Whatever he is now, he was the ancestral enemy of my great ancestors. I'm not going to sit here and just break fucking bread with him and let him lead me into some trap so he can show me the way. I don't believe in this. I am not believing in you. Do what you need to do. I will go.
Spear. Right to the heart.
You want to see that it's been maybe too long and come out and check on these two?
I'm too busy eating rice, dude.
It's probably been, you guys probably broke. And like Vane's probably setting everything back up. Because this conversation wouldn't have happened until everybody was done eating anyways.
Yeah.
So you guys could probably...
I want to show up for this.
Sure. Yeah, you walk outside. You hear the last 10 seconds of what has transpired.
Are you with me or no?
Mm-hmm.
Vale, I think we need to give you back your blade and you let us take pride back, because I feel it'll be helpful in this path of enlightenment.
So you think by taking the only weapon that saved the dragoons on the front lines and saved most of my city and leaving it here so you guys can freely walk into some trap is a good idea, while I go back to the dragoons unarmed with said weapon that defeated all the creatures of the hedge? We're going to leave it here in the hedge? You
It's
think
not being left here, and that wasn't the only weapon that defeated the hedge.
I was there?
So were many
earned-
brothers and sisters who died with
and
other
many
weapons.
more lived because of me. I earned my scales, not you. I am a dragoon. You are an initiate. The only difference between you and me is I haven't been given my scales.
As you guys are yelling,
Yeah.
I walk up to him and I pull out his sword and I'm like, this sword, regardless if this is a trap or not, is not being left in the hedge. Take your family sword back. Keep pride. And we'll see you soon. And I just hand it back to him.
Can't you
will
see
take
he's
it.
already consumed by pride?
As much as I agree with you that there should be some sort of fair trade and we get our sword back that was given to us,
Our sword that we lent to you.
Indeed, for a job that is not yet completed.
the honor in me cannot let this sword not leave with him as he exits the hedge. This is his family's sword. This has been passed down to him from generation to generation. If we end up getting lost and trapped, possibly die down here, so be it. But that sword will not be on me if that happens.
The fact that you acknowledge that you could be killed here, that you could be led into some trap, that you could be led into fighting for the hedge, or led into worse, or led into anything that these people have set for you guys, that you're taking them at face value. I feel like it gives me more power here in this conversation. I feel like you're just giving me more reason to walk.
Then walk.
Very well.
Let us not speak of power when we're 3-on-1. Furthermore,
He will cut you off and say, "You're right. Still wouldn't be fair."
can you not see what has happened to you, Baal Helfin?
I have grown.
Put down the sword and let's see how much you've grown.
The only way I will put down this sword in this hedge and relinquish it to those who would see us in chains is over my dead body.
Do not do this.
I am doing nothing.
It is against our moral code to walk away from this and leave you to traverse the hedge alone, likely to die.
I am not traversing the hedge. Lordoka said he can send us out from here.
How do you know that's not a trap?
I mean, I trust that more than I trust just sending into the bowels of this temple. Not to mention, Nicodemus has already confirmed it's correct. In fact, at that point, Baal will nod over to Nicodemus and say, "Nicodemus, you staying here?" I'll say, "Yeah." I'll say, "You walking the path?" "Fuck no." All right, look stupid. Point. I'm gonna go. You guys enjoy this. It's all you. I have a kingdom to fight for. Once it's saved, I'm on the other side. You can have your fucking sword back.
I somehow doubt that. But go with the grace of nature, brother.
Indeed. He will do a small bow, and it was an honor. He will walk past you guys, and he'll head over to where Prince Vane and Dordoka are and ask them. And Dordoka will say, yes, this way. With the help of Prince Vane, kind of lead him to another door.
He took the sword from me, correct?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And he'll open these double doors. See, like, basically it looks very similar. It's same architecture, same walls, stones, and all that other stuff. But there's like a lot of like runic symbols written on the walls in chalk. And there seem to be some like stones scattered throughout the circles that are there. It looks less like a demonic circle and more like like if somebody was trying to draw the galaxy with circles. And you see Dordoka walk to the middle and plant his staff. And then like this green orb arises, swirling from all the stones in the room. And then the orb starts to pan and thin out and elongate. And you guys see the visage of what would be the docks of Songholm. So, tons of smoke. You guys hear like the distant cries of children and men alike. He steps through. And dips out. And the portal is closed. Nicodemus is like taking notes.
Let's be real. I wanted to hang out with Nicodemus anyway.
Let's be even more real. You should have never given him that fucking sword. Now look what he's become.
Nicodemus is just going to say, to be fair, one of you guys was going to pick it up if he didn't.
To which I'll nod.
It's not like you would have been any less consumed. At least he's got a good goal. What, you would have came here and slaughtered all of the hedge because that's what you want to do? What, you would have come here and slaughtered every wild elf because you want to find some girl? I don't even know what you are. What are you? He like takes out like a tape measure, like one of the like folds out, and he's like, "You're a fucking dwarf. Knew it. God damn, I'm good."
I take back everything I just said.
He's like trying to like get it to like roll back up, and he's like, "These things are fucking."
As he
insane."
tries to roll it up, I smack it out of his hand.
And I kick it.
Get crunk.
This dwarf can still reach you, pretty boy.
I wasn't trying to be insulting. It's cool that you're different. Diversity's great. Hooray. Everybody needs a diversity hire. We just happen to have 2. That's cool. I'm not. Relax. Dude, it took me like a week to find out that he's not even human. Half the time, I don't even fucking remember your names. Why are you guys surprised?
Why did we come after
Your
him?
name's Tucker. Usually I just snap at him until he's like, "What do you want?"
I think we found the salt.
I mean, close enough for government work.
Like a libertarian purple.
Suddenly dressed in a yellow Spider-Man outfit.
Yep, of course.
These memes don't melt steel beams.
Jesus. Okay.
That was enough.
Yeah,
And we're done goofing.
We got you.
we got the gaffs.
Okay. All right.
Are we doing this?
Let's go to the path. Let's go.
Dordoka will just say, he seemed nice.
He's a charming man, I'm sure.
Put up.
Earn my fucking scales, bitch.
God, I hope he dies.
Man, I was thinking we were about to fucking fight him.
I wanted to.
Nicodemus is like, you guys would have lost. You gave him a fucking artifact of power, you dumbs. And then you were just like, here's this other sword that you also know how to use. The fairies would have been cleaning you off the front steps of this fucking temple.
Do you know rewind time?
No, but I do know call lightning on this motherfucker.
Whatever, I'm indoors. I ain't afraid. You have never casted a spell here. Do it.
Really? You're not afraid? Mister, don't want anyone to know your real name?
We'll cast a spell here. Do it.
Benjamin.
Nicodemus isn't my name.
Okay, does he take out a hookah at that moment and then just go?
No, it's a vape pen.
He uses his wand as a vape pen.
No, it's a book.
He opens another book that
opens
has a
book,
vape.
pulls out a vape kit. This is a pretty dope mod. Puts it back in, closes it.
Fucking white gummy bear, am I right?
So sick.
Cloud.
Vape nation. We are
Okay,
fucking
we're
useless tonight.
This is awful. Okay, great job, boys. Okay, so let's go to the path. Let's go. And you, motherfucker.
Which motherfucker?
I'm sorry. Excuse
There
me.
are 3.
Sorry, I had something stuck in my throat. Nicodemus.
The other 2 people like turn around and go back to what they're doing.
Nicodemus.
Yes.
What's going to happen when I cast a spell?
I mean, now I don't know if I want to tell you because, like, well, I mean, I'm going to tell you. I just wanted to make it.
I cast Thorn Whip against the wall.
Sure. Roll me percentile, Chris.
Oh.
4.
Roll to hit, Dan.
That's going to be a 17.
As he like goes to flail out this whip, you guys see like this incredible explosion of like green energy and light just go everywhere across the temple as everybody makes a saving throw against Thorn Whip.
Like me included?
Yes.
Okay.
You are making a strength check against yourself.
What's our saving throw? Is it a D20?
I believe it's a strength check, right, Dan?
Thorn Whip?
Yeah, you have, it's straight. Strength is the saving throw because they're trying to resist being pulled, right?
Yeah, Thorn Whip. Well, it's
I don't remember what it is, or if it just happens.
it's a melee attack, so it's against AC.
Okay.
They don't make any saves.
So what's your wisdom bonus plus 17?
No, it was 17 with the
Wisdom
bonus. Yeah.
Okay, so Makolo, you have vines all around your feet, and like they coil up to your armor, and then they seem to like die as they touch it, and like get repulsed. What is your AC?
16.
You are like the scene in the Addams Family where the lady goes and starts beating on the greenhouse and is like shouting, "Gordon, Gordon!"
Yeah.
And then gets covered in fucking vines. That's you right now. You see,
It's going through my beard.
yeah. Did it? I assume it hit your AC as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're looking at. You see your friend Dordoka just go, "Oh dear," and he's like, as he gets covered in vines, and Prince Vane is like, "Fuck," and he just like dashes across the room and is like jumping over the vines that are trying to get to him.
I just had to
And
make it interesting. Sorry.
then As your energy erupts, you see Nicodemus just like go, and then like all the vines around him just like screech like with a voice and then just die around him. And he's just like, you are fucking dumb. Fucking dumb. You're just like
+0. I'm bored. I'm not intelligent.
I can't swing whip.
Would anybody like a peanut?
That's me.
So are we taking damage? Or
yeah,
are we
what's the damage roll, big guy?
1d6.
Everybody roll 1d6. That's the damage you're taking.
Actually, I roll it,
Not
I
you,
guess.
Makolo.
Because I cast it, right? So,
Yeah, you cast it. You roll it.
all right, 2.
2. There you go.
I'm gonna like pat on my armor.
And this is why I cast a cantrip.
just sitting there, just like hate you.
At least I didn't fucking cast Wind Wall. Like,
Vane, like, after the vines, like, stop
Nice
fighting
up.
back.
We're gonna get kicked out of school.
He like runs over. He has a spear in his hand, and he like kind of cuts through.
Go on, go way down.
He like swings his spear at you and just slices all the vines.
Go.
And they all just like rapidly fall off you. And then he walks over and does the same thing to you, where he just swings his spear and cuts all the vines that are on you. Blade
Got
never
some of the-
touches you.
Got some of the beard.
Yep.
well,
Are you happy now, Carric? Do you feel better?
I'm just going to kind of... Am I still in vines?
No, he cut you out of them.
Oh, okay.
While I do enjoy learning opportunities, I would implore you not to use any spells that you cannot control, at least in the grounds in which we live. That would be pleasurable. Thank you.
I'm just going to look at my hands and just...
I'm going to reach up and just slowly try to push your hand down to your side.
Nicodemus will look at you and just say, sometimes it has the exact opposite effect here. You never know. Hedge is a lot like a box of chocolates.
Mama said these are magic shoes. Mama said they take me anywhere.
Dordoka, vine unpleasantries aside, I think we're ready to take the path.
Speak for yourself. Oh, I'm sorry. Speak for yourself. I'm functionally useless here?
You still have your
Nature-
strength.
It's a +2, my dude. No. I must think. Nature has never not beckoned or responded to my beckoning.
This is an unnatural place, my dude.
And you wanted to do the path, my bro.
dude.
My dragoon.
My dude.
I believe we were just very bluntly reminded that we are not dragoons.
I don't care what Bale says. We've shed a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And it's what Manon says, not what he says. Manon said we earned our scales.
Oh, he said we.
Yeah, Nicodemus is quick to remind you that,
Yeah.
no, you guys didn't earn any scales.
Stick your nose in a book.
It is. It's right here. He even like pulls a small book out of that book.
It's like a nose-sized book.
I need another drink.
Like, rests it on his nose.
Okay. Nicodemus, let me borrow a page, please. A blank page.
He hands you like a little piece of charcoal.
And then right under Nicodemus, I write Bail, and at the top, it's the shit list. Okay. Just going to put that
But
in
it's
my
like
pocket.
spelled incorrectly.
Yeah, I'm not,
Just like
not very intelligent.
list.
like summons another little book in this big book. Closes it. I would also remind you that, as undesirable as it may seem, Bale did earn his skills, and is technically your superior officer.
Well, he left without his soldiers.
Well, technically you weren't under his command. But yes, I agree. Plenty of dick moves were about. I mean, you don't give a guy the means of salvation and then just try to rip it away as soon as he starts to make like 5% of progress. But at the same time, he's the closest thing I ever had to a friend, and he was quite content with leaving me here to my own devices. But to be fair,
He asked you if you wanted to go.
This is the interval in which we diverge. I have things I have to learn here.
As do we.
Indeed, it would seem so. And Prince Vane will interject. We can take a small break in just a few minutes and repack as well. It's only 9:30, so we've got another like hour at least. We'll take a break in a few minutes before you guys head down. There's only a little bit more to go for this dialogue.
Okay.
Prince Vane will step up and say, Dordoka is not responsible for the path. He's only responsible for the temple's grounds. I am responsible for the path. I will lead you there. I will lead you as far as I can.
Then let us proceed.
Very well. All of you would have healed your hit die plus your constitution modifier. You would have to roll that. You did not heal all your hit points up for one day. He will ask again if you all need to rest before attempting to go down there.
Oh, I don't
Or if you require any other provisions. Actually, you feel really invigorated after lunch as well, so you're going to roll your hit die twice. Once for, you think the food that you ingested healed you, and once for sleeping. And you will add your con modifier to both.
So I was already close enough to max.
You would have just healed all the way.
Well, now -2 because of this asshole over here.
Yes, you are down 2 hit
Fuck
points.
off.
Alright, so it's our D10 plus our what?
D10 plus your con modifier. For you, it's 5. So you're going to roll a D10 and add 5 to it twice.
You got the percentile in your hand.
That's still a D10.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You can roll it.
The 6.
It was a 6,
So
so
you-
6 plus 5
You
is
got
11.
11. So roll again because he's giving us another bonus for eating
Yeah. And then whatever you are at,
4.
plus another 5.
So it's 9.
20.
So 20, you heal 20 hit points, and then subtract 2 from that total. Because, oh no, you
I didn't take damage.
didn't get damaged. Yep.
So he's just -2 of his max.
No, he didn't get damaged by the vines at all.
They died when they touched my armor.
Yep.
Ah,
That AC though.
that's right.
That
is right.
I
So
would
I'm at
say
51.
I need to rest some more.
You know what, buddy? Even though you hit us all, let's do that.
I will remind you that it was as shocking for me as for you. This is like an earth-shattering thing for me. Like, I'm a druid. I don't know if you guys like understand. Like, nature does what I say to do, and this is like a very like weird thing for me. Like as a character. It's like saying you go to turn undead and suddenly they turn into clowns and attack you. Like, this fucking bullshit. What the fuck? Like, it makes you question, like...
Nicodemus is looking at you and he's like, at least you didn't try to wild shape.
Luckily, you came in as wild shape. And luckily, all of my
That's
abilities
a good thing,
just
because...
all of my abilities just
You
power
seem
up
like
my
smirking.
weapon.
Nicodemus. If you know...
Is that a good seed to plant?
No.
On a scale of 1 to not friends anymore, where are we
Well,
at?
We don't have scales.
We're still best friends. But
It
here's the thing.
I don't honestly know. I know that nature magic in general in the hedge is fleeting.
Great.
And sometimes you are in a zone of immense power, and other times you are not, as the world is constantly in chaotic measure. Magic, the arcane variety, also has a tendency to be incredibly random and arbitrary, though nature, it's slightly more predictable because magic is a theory. And therefore a science, whereas nature magic is not at all. But the gods that gave you your ability have no power here. So that is why. So I'm not sure how shapeshifting will work. I know that shapeshifting is typically controlled by the power of the moon on our plane. I don't know if you noticed, there are lots of stars and lots of planetary bodies following us around randomly, and he will motion up, and whereas you saw multiple suns in the distance before, you now see only one. The same thing with the planetary bodies that are our satellites. The more there are, I would assume the more exacerbated your ability will be, and if there are none at that time where we are, you will lack the ability. I imagine you would have to train here in order to understand yourself and your abilities more fully. Much like I did.
Well, that's a good segue into the path of enlightenment.
Indeed. Though I doubt we will have very much time to train here.
I'll learn what I can.
It is critically important to listen to what Bale warned us about, and that time does travel differently here. We do not know what will lie in store for us once we leave. So you guys rest. Go ahead and roll your hit die again. Add your Constitution bonus. For Chris, you just auto heal all the way up. Well, you should be at full health.
No, I'm at 51.
Okay.
Mine is 59, so.
So just roll again. Add 5 and heal up. With that, we'll go ahead and repack, put on coals, and I'm going to take a small poop. Thanks, everybody. We will be right back. Intermission.
Get yourself some whoppers. I fucking hate. I need a drink.
Yeah, that was intense.
Fuck you for giving him the sword. My dude.
What?
Fuck you for the sword. Sword would have been so good in this. What? Notice. Nothing here.
sleeping. Fine.
Yeah, I won't get home till.
Your stream is good.
There's a couple.
Away from the
She had a way set up, but right before I started,
I should get a drink.
had like her audio, like all the audio levels. And haywire. I don't know if she figured out what. Because she had like a nice layout she made.
start running PCs. You can build scenes. You're limited to. So.
I think these dice is. Carric cake color. Oh, I'm also gonna play a fuck ton of DBZ fighters.
I pick that up tomorrow after work. And I forgot that it's from the people who made BlazBlue, so it's gonna be fucking amazing.
It's gonna be good.
Gameplay wise.
Yeah, Guilty Gear.
It's like, do I get it on PlayStation? I love that D-pad.
I got it on PlayStation. I think Greaser got it on Xbox.
I'm confused as how you guys.
I hate you doing fighting games with.
I can't do
I can
analog
only do the
stick.
joystick
I
because
can't.
that's fighting stick for me.
I can't do
I
it.
mean, I wish it was more responsive, like a fighting stick.
I grew.
Newegg had a deal where if you bought one of their like Hori fighting sticks, you got Dragon Ball for free. Which is a pretty good
Twist
deal.
your mic up.
Yeah.
There you go.
I grew up playing like
I moved it from
SNES
where it
fighting
was.
games.
Sure.
So
I like D-pad,
yeah,
Okay. There we go.
and I like the PS4 D-pad
gonna
more than the
angle it around.
Xbox one. So that's why I
the
said we should
Xbox
go
One
PS4.
hurts my
Yeah,
hands because the Elite controller, like it's so, like
I love like
Raised.
generally I love that controller more.
Mhm.
Like it just fits my giant hands better.
I
But
love the way it feels.
if I'm gonna use,
Yeah,
if
it's
I'm
got a
gonna
good
play,
weight.
if I'm gonna play a fighting game, I want the PlayStation D-pad.
Because
with like SNK games, I use pads. 'Cause I have to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not good at SNK games without a dedicated D-pad because that's just how I work, I guess. But for stuff like Street Fighter or BlazBlue, I'm so much faster and like have more reaction with the circle.
sure.
So because I don't use my thumb anymore, I use just the muscle that kind of to create the pattern. So I'm like twitching with my circles. Makolo can attest. He's eaten plenty of fireballs from me.
I'm terrible at fighting games, but the Dragon
Oh yeah,
Ball
when we
one
played Street
excites
Fighter
me to
with
play.
Sparrow.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty bad too. But I'm if I have a circle based character, I can hang out. So it depends.
Fucking shifting at your way again, dude.
Practicing them rolls
Yeah,
for this path.
I can never Vega because Vega is like he's a Z based character, not a
Yeah.
circle based character. So
I love Vega.
I love him. I could just never play him. I tried. All right, ladies and gentlemen,
And we're back.
we are. One day we will get an intermission screen. I will.
I meant to do that today. And then I
all
just
good.
got caught up in finishing that video first because that's more important.
Yes, it is, without a doubt, and it is good work. So, and that's going to release on Sunday, right?
It's true. Yep.
So this upcoming Sunday, there will be the first episode of 2018 Sermons. You guys can look
Clever.
forward to that.
That'll be up on YouTube, and we should do it on Twitch too. We should do a premiere.
Yeah. Well, what I'll do is we'll premiere yours tomorrow night. We should put it on Twitch just so it's on Twitch. And then we'll do mine Sunday. The same time that it'll premiere. No, it'll probably premiere later on Twitch.
Let's do,
Cool.
I don't know, 6 o'clock.
Sure, whatever.
Seems nice.
Yeah,
You got to
whatever.
pick a time.
Sure.
Yeah, whatever. There you go, ladies.
All right,
and
Sunday
gentlemen.
at 6. Sermons.
Yep. And tomorrow, if you haven't seen Notes on Notes, episode 1, that will also be on Twitch, but you can still currently find it on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Is anybody streaming tomorrow? No.
No one streams on the weekends.
Nope.
I only asked that everybody stream 1 hour
I might
The,
stream something
Monday
then.
through Thursday.
Tomorrow is more like a bonus day. Like if somebody's available,
I might do something afterwards.
if you want to do
if
something,
I'm
do
feeling
it.
froggy.
Well, I think we were planning.
Don't burn yourself out.
Yeah, save it for Monday. But me and him will probably hop on at some point in the evening.
If I'm hanging out with James, probably not.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing that.
No, I just told you
You
that.
said that earlier.
No, I mean like when I said earlier that
yeah.
we could stream.
We can do it Sunday. No one streams on Sunday.
I'll come over and play with you if you want.
We can do that.
Yeah,
So-
we can do
anyway.
something. Anyway,
So back to the
Yes.
task at hand.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
so we're waking up.
All right, so you guys are heading back to the bunk room and settle yourself in and get some additional rest. See, Nicodemus is kind of like poring over books. You take the hood off of that real quick and then pass it over when you're done. Thanks. I just want to get it before it fully cools off, but before it needs to be heated back up again. You don't have to hand it to me right now. You can finish it. All right. You see that Nicodemus is reading several books and transcribing stuff into them based on things he's seen. And you guys are doing what exactly? Let's start with you, Mr. McCullough.
All right, so we're
You
just
can actually
waking
get some
up.
rest, or do you have enough hit points you don't care?
No, I'm max.
Okay. So what are
So-
you doing other than sleeping if you are not?
I guess just thinking about everything that's happened and
Okay.
kind of what was said earlier is resonating in the back of my head
Well,
about Fane.
sure. We'll come back to that thought. Dan, catching some Z's.
Definitely cried myself to sleep after my failed thorn whip experiment and catching some Z's.
You roll me a wisdom, or roll me a nature check.
7.
Chris, what are you doing?
Oh, just meditating and praying and stuff, contemplating the challenge that's ahead of us, and realizing that more than anything, that the path to enlightenment is what kept me here. That's what my people want and do.
Yeah, absolutely. What is so what do you do? I mean, you're not sleeping. You're just contemplating and mulling over the thoughts of Fane. What do you do?
So I'm gonna go see if the prince is around.
You Appolok get up and leave during your meditations, Chris.
Okay.
You head back up the way that you came, and fairly enough, you will find Prince Fane upstairs in the same training room. This time with a sword. It is a rather large sword, like it's meant to be. It looks like it's made out of like sharpened stone, almost. It is like roughly the same size as like Cloud's Buster sword. He's attempting to do like motions with it and then stop the blade.
Not trying to cut water.
No, he is not.
All right, well, I want to approach, but not rudely. I'm going to
Sure.
make my presence known and I guess wait until he comes to a stopping point.
Yeah, you see him like spinning and twirling with this giant blade and like doing aerials with it. And eventually he like comes to a stop and puts the blade back on one of the weapon racks. And says, "What can I do for you?"
Forgive my intrusion, Prince, but there's been something that's been in the back of my head that I heard earlier about your former apprentice.
No intrusion. All knowledge here is free knowledge. What would you like to know about one of my former apprentices?
It's about the last one you had that you mentioned.
Yes. That is the one I mentioned in specifics.
When was he here?
Some time ago. Many cycles. The equivalent would be for you, probably be years. How many, I'm not quite certain, as your lunar and solar cycles don't really match up to what are here, so I couldn't quite tell you. But it's been some years. I can say that with certainty.
Did he enter this path of enlightenment?
He did not. There was another voice that put him on a different path.
Would you say he is a friend?
No. I offer enlightenment. I train those who wish to seek it. My goals are to lead my people, to break their chains, and to rise up against those that would make us slaves. Thane is a half-blood and appears to only have half of the same ambition that I have as well. He shared my vision at first, and that is why he became my apprentice. Unfortunately, that after his path changed, he was exiled from this temple.
Have you seen him since?
I have not. He knows where this place is. If he wanted to be seen by me, he would have shown back up. That said, I don't think he would be accepted here with a warm welcome.
You got that right.
Well, aside from yourself, he now seeks to empower the Sidhi masters. He has made himself a slave. I do not throw my lot in with slaves.
So he's working for the Sidhi?
Indeed. That is the path that he is on. He also wished for the title of prince, and did not realize the foolhardiness that it comes with. I tried to instruct him on this, But to him, his vanity was more important. So, Fane left to become Prince Fane. A prince he is, of the same kingdom I am. Nothing but dirt.
From downstairs, you just hear me rolling around in my sleep. Half-blood prince.
I thought that
Fane.
would be a lesson that my kingdom would have shown him what being a prince is worth. It is a title of shackles and solid, not a title of endearment. I have kept it for different reasons. There's an element of vanity to it, yes. I'm not perfect. And it reminds me that I am not. Yes, it is my ambition to be one day a king. It is not Fane's. It's for that reason I'll never be welcome here again.
Well, I thank you for the information you shared.
Should you choose to cross blades with him, I would warn you. He is powerful.
I guess I'm gonna just go ahead and just show him like the scar.
Yeah, you look at your armor and you realize that the bones around the scar actually open up, like with thought around you. They peel back and show scars.
And tell him that I already know his prowess in battle.
He's a cruel creature. Chose for you to live on purpose. So that way you could live with your failure. If Fame wanted you dead, you would be dead. He is a powerful adversary. Not much takes him by surprise.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, I would like to prod your head for knowledge on swordsmanship.
Unfortunately, that which I can teach you may not be of as beneficial as you would have hoped.
Wah, wah.
Your best hope of defeating Thane one-on-one left when Baal carried that sword out of this temple. That said, you are all strong together. And should you take solace in your comrades and embrace your curse, you may be able to see it through. I have no doubt that your path will cross his. Remember his vanity. That is his weakness.
May I still stay here and train with you?
Of course. He will motion behind him to all of the weapons on the wall, which there are like countless weapons. They seem to be mostly training weapons, but there are a few like real gems here amongst them. No, there are some projectile bows, but nothing that. Basically, what you have is a human-made strength bow that puts an emphasis on impact rather than delivery and finesse. And a lot of the bows that the elves were famous for using are like distance bows. So you could trade power for distance if you wanted to with one of these bows. Your bow gives you more power.
Trust me, I was not going to go.
You will pick up a bow, and you notice that he puts a quiver like higher up than you, and it like rests almost on his lower gut. and when he pulls, he does not like pull back and like latch over to the left and launch like you do. He actually just centers his bow and he holds it with just an element in his hand. And it's reminiscent of the way Brant fires, where Brant actually drops his bow after he fires and catches it. But you see him never drop it. Seems to be his own counterweight as he fires much, much faster than you, but to much less of a degree of power. Like you hit the target at the other end of the range, bullseye, sure, and you make an impact, and like your arrow goes through it. But he is, while you're shooting for power of effect, you think he's like shooting like you would at a gun range, looking for like actual pairings, lumps, hits, of which he does a very good job.
Does he do the Robin Hood? Does he like split an arrow?
He doesn't split an arrow. None of his arrows are like really pointed like that. His arrows are all practice arrows. He couldn't split a point unless he was like actively trying to. But you get the point. These are practice arrows, trying to practice shooting. And he's doing it at a longer distance than you, like at an extreme distance.
And ask him if he would have any spare arrows that I could use for my emptying quiver.
I can help you with the wood. The blades I would need to forge. By the time you return, I will have a fresh quiver of arrows for you.
I appreciate the talk and the training.
Indeed. Learn your enemies just as much as learn of yourself. Know yourself, your enemies. Know your strengths. You were not meant to fight pain. Probably even live. But together, have managed to save your kingdom from the brink of destruction. Continue on that path. And remember that as you walk this path, you are not alone. And that's where he bid you adieu, and he'll go back to some other type of weapon training.
I guess at that point I'll just head back to wherever I'm staying.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And you see your buddy walk back down. Anything changed with you? What are you doing?
Nope, still praying.
You got it. You were just praying away.
I do notice him come down and like
Yeah.
kind of stir out of it for a second. And I look at him, and it looks like he's just been hit with some heavy things.
Blow before you suck.
Giggity.
Yeah.
And I just make a passing joke. You've already looked like you've been enlightened.
Not enough. But some. I'll share later when Carric is awake as well.
And I'm rolling around. Fane, same name.
I'm gonna kick your bed.
He like ghost giant. I like that noise.
Okay. Anyway, let's go.
Yep, you wake up. You've healed some hit points.
Yeah, definitely turn that down.
Yeah, we're gonna get a Twitch strike.
Nah, you don't get a Twitch strike for that shit. They'll just mute your shit.
Oh, right. So, it's been a little while. Vane will come down and collect you guys, and lead you down to the lower reaches. There's less light and less warmth in the stone as you are walking. And he leads you to a hallway. pulls these double doors back. You guys are hit with this like wall of fog. Says this is where I would leave you.
Dark Souls feeling.
I was
it.
gonna say.
I will wait here for your return.
So it's just a wall of fog that's in front of us.
The miasma cannot peer through. It's like a less like fog and more like dense nothingness in front of you. Like the air has weight and is swirling.
Is he still with us?
Yeah,
All right.
he's like that. Once you pass through here, I will not follow you. You will be on your own.
Is there any final parting words?
Find yourself. Find each other. Find your way back.
I want to walk up to these two. Here, are you human or are you
I'm big.
big? Well, I'm going to try and put my arm as high up on you like a shoulder as I can.
I was gonna do that with you guys.
And kind of put mine lower on you, and whatever happens in here, we're brothers. We're a family. We're in this together.
Until we all stop breathing.
Let's get enlightened.
Everybody roll percentile.
fucking Jesus Christ. 32.
Yeah.
73.
What'd you get?
70.
Okay. Chris.
Hey.
Well, all of you pass through together with hands on each other's backs and shoulders. And as you step through, you no longer feel the weight of each other's hands on your shoulders. And you look around and you look back, and the
Dr.
wall
Strange
behind
trippy.
you is that. It's a wall. There's the door, the mist, it's all gone, and you are in a dark room, each of you. Or a dark hallway, rather. It seems to lead on. Chris, you
Hello.
are in complete darkness.
Okay.
You cannot see your hands, your feet,
Even
the
with
floor,
even with my dark sight.
even with dark sight.
Okay.
You do not know the shape of or architecture of the surroundings.
Okay. You're asking me what I do?
I'm just telling you.
Okay.
That's what you got, man. What
Okay.
do you want to do?
I think the first thing I want to do
So
is
we're all separated right now, right? We're like in our own.
If you, well, that's all he feels, and all you guys feel as well is the separation of weight. And then you two look back and realize like there's just a wall behind you. You both don't see anybody else. He is just in complete darkness. Does not see anything.
Okay.
Looking forward or backwards, or down or up.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Sacred Weapon to try to illuminate the room just a bit.
Sure. You cast Sacred Weapon, and the warhammer that you are wielding starts to glow. And as it does, you look around, and as far as you can tell, you're not even standing on the floor. You are not standing on anything. You appear to be floating, as if in an orb of darkness. If you were to guess, you would say it's not even that you're floating in an orb of darkness, it's just now that you're surrounded by light, the light makes it look like you're floating in an orb of darkness. That's your first thought. Your second thought is, there is nothing here. There's just darkness.
Okay. Can I do anything else, or am I
You tell me.
divine sense?
You reach out with your divine sense, and you feel death and disparity and evil all around you.
It's paladin time, baby.
Sick.
You are most disturbed when you feel that it is coming from within you as well. Well done.
But do my little lip rings like move around?
Oh boy.
Are you David Draymond now?
Yeah.
Guess so.
You've shapeshifted into the form of David Draymond the dwarf.
Catchy name. Triple D.
Start walking forward slowly.
As you will your feet to move forward, it's as almost as if you're and your mind know what you want to do, but you don't start walking. But you can tell by the radiance of your weapon that you are moving.
I'm gonna keep moving forward.
You are moving forward. There does not seem to be an end to darkness. You try to do anything else?
No, just continue to move forward very cautiously.
Sure. You realize like you really only have like one pace of movement. Which is kind of cautiously in general. It's like slow. It's like if you wanted to move slower, you couldn't. And if you wanted to move faster, you wouldn't be able to. That said, you still do believe you're moving at like a roughly like a walking pace. Roll me a perception check.
That is a 19.
Okay. You notice some flickers of movement in the darkness. Like up and to the left.
Chewbacca?
I start moving in that direction.
Notice is like you think about up and to the left, you actually start toward literally that direction.
Sweet. This is character building.
When dwarves fly, am I right?
Yeah, there is certainly nothing. There's no gravity holding you hostage here, as you just discovered. As you move towards that direction, there's more flickers of shadowy movement. It looks wispy, and you just hear, and then it comes from the right. You see just like little shadowy movements, and then it's gone.
Is the one that I first saw still in front of me?
You think that they're one and the same, like it was over there, and then it moved, and it's to your right now.
So now I move to my right.
Sure. Go ahead and make me another perception check.
11.
You follow the flick of it and turn around, and you are face to face with this shadowed outline, this like almost like fog-like built character or silhouette of a dwarven man, and he stands with you, eye to eye.
Mm-hmm. I try to speak to it. Who are you?
I am you. As
Back
he
flip
says
didn't
that,
press A.
like puffs of like smoke or fog roll out tongue. He doesn't sound like you. In fact, as he says that, like the smoke ripples down his beard. It's his beard. Like, how would you describe your beard?
Okay. How would I describe my beard?
Yeah.
Similar to yours, but obviously a little bit bushier and longer. Kind of goes out a little bit because it's unkempt, but it goes down probably to about my breast. There are two braids that kind of offset the chin with black beads on one side and white beads on the other.
So with this figure, you notice that his beard is more kempt and pulled together, and is in this one big braid, like a fish braid, and it's bearded, and it goes almost down to like the lower end of his stomach.
That was cute. I was like, what the fuck sound was
Oh, that gave me the hiccups.
Huh? Oh, fuck. What was that noise? Damn.
And then Dan breaks it. Like, I was good, and then Dan starts cracking up again, and I lose it.
Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good.
I raise my warhammer a little bit closer towards him to kind of get more light shined upon him, and I examine him a little closer and say, if you are me, but you don't look like me now, what version of me are you?
The progenitor.
Got answers.
He's got fucking answers.
The one you come from.
Shit.
We are not blood, but you are my son.
I am your son.
He kind of like stares blankly at you as you see, as your weapon gets a little closer to illuminate him, it's still like very fog-like, and the features are still fog, unfortunately. So it's not, you don't get like the fleshy details of everything. But you get like the rough shape of him. You know, he's an armored figure in dwarven plate mail. He has no weapons that you can tell of.
How far away are we from each other?
He is within like a couple feet of you.
Beard stroking distance.
Yeah. If you were a foot closer, you could reach out and touch his beard.
I think I want to close into the distance.
Sure. He does not move.
Man, I don't know what questions to ask. That's gonna fucking fall on you again, isn't it? You might want to like twist it until it's like solid.
It's this.
Yeah, because this is the one that went.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder what we're gonna see.
It'll be like fucking cousin Roman. Let's go bowling.
Hey, Carric!
Flying solo.
Yeah.
It's just like
Luke, you must go to the Dagobah system.
Why are you here?
to show you that darkness is in us all. No one is pure.
Get some bombs dropped on you.
Nothing is as it seems.
Nothing is true.
As he takes that sidestep, he like kind of opens up, and you see like a wispy arm and gauntlets kind of point out as he looks over and then back at you. And as you see in the distance, like this more and more fog kind of erupts around you, silhouetted in the black. It only stands out because it's more like grayish, and it's less black than the void around you, and your warhammer helps illuminate that. You see this figure in battle, with his own war axe, essentially taking down dwarves and giants alike and felling them. With several other followers at his back, orphan men and women.
And I see that like it's kind of away
Off in the distance.
So I turn my attention to that and start heading closer to that.
The needless slaughter of our own people. Because our ideals were not the same. And then you see like the battle kind of like goes silent. See him walking through this battlefield strewn with like wisped corpses, or soon to be, as he reaches out to those who are on the field of battle and takes the point of his axe and sticks it through them and ends their life. Says, where some would see mercy, what I truly felt was hatred. I could have been benevolent. I could have given them their lives. I could have been what you want me to be. But I am not.
Should I go ahead and put on Dark Side of Me for you?
Am I to follow the same fate?
You will show others mercy when you should show them compassion. You will show them this same mercy, and you will do it in your name, thinking you are the force of good. You will embrace a darkness inside of you, and already have, for the sake of being my son. Be better than me. To be the son of Kaldar does not mean to live up to me. It means to be better than me. Be better than you. Become the saint that you all glorified me to be. And then you see the fog and smoke dissipate. Off in the distance, you see one light.
I start walking towards that light source.
You
Let's learn more how much of a piece of shit I am.
have you figured it out?
What do you mean figured it out?
Asking you figured it out.
I mean, I get the message. Sure.
Do you get who it's coming from?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I believe so.
That said, as soon as you hit the light, your it's like you step forward, and this light just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually it's like you are walking or floating into an orb of all light, and it absorbs all the darkness, and to the point where it's blinding. You close your eyes, prevent yourself from going blind, and as you open them, you are in a stone hallway. In fact, if you look all the way back there, it's like that. It looks exactly like the hallway you came from. It's just that way is sealed off, and the only way through this hallway is forward. We're gonna cut over to Makolo real quick.
Cool.
It's my turn.
I'm like, oh man.
Makolo, you are
Getting ready.
Sure. All right. So you stepped into this hallway. You look behind you, and the bricks are all shut. And that's what you see.
So there's nowhere for me to move?
Yeah, it's forward. You're basically in a hallway, and as you guys entered that entrance, that miasma through the smoke, look back and the wall's just behind you, and the only way through is forward.
Forward I go.
Sure. Make me a perception check.
$22.
Okay. You don't notice it for like the first 60 feet or so as you're walking down this long hallway. You realize it because of your echo as you continue down this hallway. Feels seamless to you, like natural, like you're wearing your skin. But as you look down at your feet to examine the echo, realize that your feet, legs, thighs, up to your breastplate are encased bone armor. And as you realize it, you kind of look down at your hands and you realize from fingertip to your shoulders are covered in these gauntlets made of bone and sinew. And it's like it's like a second skin. Like you wouldn't even have noticed if it not been for the echo of your feet, your new shoes being different than your old. As far as you can tell, you are covered in exoskin.
I guess while I keep walking, I'm gonna like examine and poke and prod.
Sure, you like touch it and it feels like a second skin. It feels tough and like as much of a weapon as it is armor.
And keep going forward.
Sure. In another 60 feet, realize you are not breathing and you do not hear your breath. Heart.
So I'm gonna like double check pulses.
You go to touch your deck and you realize it is also covered in this bone-plated armor.
Guys, I'm Zerg armor.
You realize that it's fully enclosed around your face, and that you have these eye holes, and that's about it.
Do I still have eyes?
Yes, and now that you mention it, you think they're working better than they were before we're alive. Slightly better than you did in the previous hallway.
I was dead.
Hmm?
I was dead.
No, when you were walking through the hallway.
Dead when I was alive.
Oh, well, you are technically dead. You don't feel a pulse. Hear your heart
right now. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. You have realized that you are deceased. And that you see not everything in this dark hallway, but you see better than you did before.
I guess for shits and giggles, I'm gonna like test and see if I can run in this armor, or how well I run in this armor.
Sure. You take off full bore, and as you begin to move, you feel the armor almost like a second skin. Not only are you moving and moving quick, but then the armor starts to like a second muscle pull your legs through the motion. You feel like you're moving faster and hitting the ground way harder. And you look down and you're actually like leaving small prints of craters in the hallway stones as you run forward. You are not breathing any heavier because you are not breathing at all. Feel like you could keep this pace all day.
I want to go ahead and try a little jumpsy. A little jumperoo.
If you are to jump, you think at the speed you are going, you would hit the roof. Hallway is slightly lower than the ceiling here.
No jump check.
Okay. I mean, you can still jump if you want. You're just pretty sure you'll hit.
Yeah, I don't want to cause a cave in.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep running to this music.
You got it. You keep pace. You look back behind you, and I mean, you can't even see the other end of the hallway after a while. I think you've traveled several miles.
Keep running.
Yeah, absolutely. Eventually, as you run, you just kind of run until all of a sudden you are faced with a door at the other end of this hallway.
Like what kind of door?
A wooden door.
I guess I'm gonna like put my head up to it and see if I can hear anything on the other side.
You do not hear anything.
I'm gonna check the door, see if it's...
It is unlocked. You hear the latch click. You feel it start to give. If you were to push it, or even just unlatch it, it would swing open.
I'm gonna open it slowly.
Okay. As you open it, light begins to pour in to the hallway. And you are greeted by the look and sound of the hedge.
Guess I'm gonna step through the doorway.
Sure. As you do it, you examine your surroundings. You look back. There's nothing holding the door in place. And the door slowly creaks shut. There is no handle on the side of the door. Surrounded by trees and noises you've never heard before, never seen. Sights and sounds. Thorns. Rocks. All vibrant colors. All an assault on the sense. You notice the ground beneath you, black, scarred, and dying. As you take another step forwards or backwards, you realize wherever your foot goes, ground willows and dies in moments.
Do I see anything like off in the distance to walk towards? Anything that could...
I mean, you're basically in a whole world, dude. Even behind the door, you could look behind the door and see the whole world. You think you are in the hedge, back where you were before. There's just no temple here.
Guess I'm gonna keep moving forward,
As you think you are.
and
Sure.
looking around as I walk, and I guess obviously keep checking out the ground as I take my steps.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's like a trail of death as you continue to walk through.
Is there anything like I can touch with my hand?
Yeah. As you like reach out to like touch a tree, you feel it shrivel and die, and the foliage just desiccate and fall to the ground. As your sharp skeletal gauntlets touch it.
I'd say I'd start to break a sweat a little bit, but I'm dead.
Yeah, you're not. You feel the element of anxiety, but you don't feel the rush of chemicals flowing through your brain or making your heart beat. Your voice start to your breath rather start to cut out. Roll a perception check.
Seven.
Okay. You are traveling the hedge and leaving death in your wake. You do happen to find some tracks, however. Not tell what creature made them, but you believe it is vague. Somewhat humanoid.
Now, like, is it? Can I like examine the tracks to
Yeah,
see if it's
absolutely.
more?
You can make a nature check to try to, or a survival check rather, to try to follow them. Y'all checking out tasty memes? Cute.
15.
Okay. Yeah, as you start to track this, you realize it's actually two things you are tracking, both following the same path. One appears to be adept at covering tracks, a smaller creature, and then the other, who appears to be walking next to the first creature, is not trying to hide its tracks. Way, shape, or form.
Is the other set of footprints smaller than the other one?
Cannot tell. There are no footprints. Second set of tracks.
Okay.
Like the one person is being stealthy and the other person is not.
I guess I'm gonna keep following said tracks.
Sure. Perception.
Six.
Okay. Roll survival again.
Not a very good ranger there.
12.
Okay. You think you are staying the path. You like lose them for a minute and then catch back on to the more obvious set of tracks. Go ahead and roll me perception again.
18.
Doesn't take long where you see a golden armored figure in the distance holding hands with a smaller person.
They're obviously still walking, right?
Yeah.
So I want to obviously quicken the pace,
Sure.
but not so much as if they would, I guess, hear me.
Yeah. Roll me stealth roll.
Six.
You approach quickly. but not, and probably too hastily, as the ground step into it swells, and I mean their tracks basically dissipate. They're yours. Kill the brush around them. And as you are approaching, realize that the person gilded armor stops. Lets go. Think to be a little elven girl's hand. Thane turns around to me. Along with Fane, very familiar face, as she looks at you.
Far off are they?
Close.
Is he just looking at me?
Seems like he's pulled his head, like cracked his neck, and is ready to draw weapons if he. He looks at you and says, "Identify yourself, creature." Notice that the little girl looks to be in like sheer terror at you.
You don't remember me? Thane?
You notice as you say that your voice is like somewhat muffled under the sound of your helmet. But as you say that, like the bone plating around your face and head peels back and like forms around you, like a helmet that slides this visor up seamlessly. Like your body knew it was time, and that was your response to you. And you see a thin smile go across his lips. My, what deal? What devil? Before you can like even see the blade has been. One death not enough. Seek a third today. The little girl screams out, "Appolok! What have you done?" It's Chris and Dan.
I'm so excited to see what happens because I see the twinkle in his eye, and me and Dan are like, "Oh!"
No, just I'm picking up what.
Of course, you see the fucking story out. Don't meta this. Let him decide.
I did what I had to do so I can save you.
See her like start to cry a little, and then you, Bane, kind of like push her aside. As he walks towards you.
I'm going to keep walking towards him slowly.
Sure. You guys get within like 10 feet of each other. You see him like all of a sudden, like he's like casually walking towards you, and then like a blur of motion goes by, and he is beside you, sliding his blade in between the bones of your armor. And you feel nothing. You feel the armor instinctively starting to repair itself. But you definitely feel as if you've suffered damage, and instinctively like the visor comes back down over your face. And you know you are damaged, but you are still functional. Do not believe function in hit points anymore.
He's turned into the Guyver.
Do I have any weapons on me?
You see none.
Time to go Willie McGee.
Well, I've got those gauntlets that have like claws, I guess.
They look like they're tipped a little bit. They don't look particularly like they're made for combat. They look more like they're styled for function and dexterity.
Well,
Like
I'm
they're
gonna.
as close. They're like as closely form fitting as possible.
I'm obviously gonna be more fixated on her, so I'm just gonna keep walking towards her.
Okay. As you take your step towards her, you feel your hip kind of almost give out as your armor compensates, and you are able to turn around. And then you feel your other leg give out, fall to one knee, as you feel Vane's blade enter on your right calf and go across your left thigh. Your armor is in the process of repairing itself, but it is feel as if you are an imminent danger. You scream out, Appolok.
I'm gonna punch this motherfucker.
Sure. You turn around, and as you turn around to punch him, you see his sword like kind of graze across your cheek. Wasn't expecting you to move as fast, and he was trying to like killing blow you. And as you go to punch him, feel your hand open up, and all of your fingers turn into like Freddy Krueger style blades made of bone, and all of them enter his chest. See him just go like blood flies on top of your armor. Takes his sword and raises it up, and then like goes through your neck, through your what would have been your heart, and out one of your ribs. And he twists it. And he looks at your eyes, says, and his eyes roll back into his head. Slowly slides off of your blades, fall to the ground. Millie runs over to you. Your visor swings up. You feel a void coming about you. Appolok, what have you done?
I've saved you.
At what cost?
Whatever cost was necessary.
Bane is not alone. More are going to come for me. Only one of you. Now you're leaving me again. That is the last. And then everything goes
She
dark.
was taken from me. I didn't leave her. Fuck.
And
Mushroom cloud in the distance.
you awake as you are stepping through the miasma once more. Dan.
Oh boy.
It's your turn, buddy.
What do you have for me, my dear?
I hope it's like, you feel nothing.
What's up, dude?
In typical Dan fashion, he
What's up,
probably already knows what happened and has
No, I
3
don't.
contingency plans as to what he needs to do.
No, I don't know anything about this. So
I'm glad you weren't giving Cliff Notes
You,
for this.
No, I told him specifically nothing about this.
Mhm.
Yeah. He knows that this temple exists.
that's literally all I know.
That's
That's all we
all I
wrote
gave
for the
him.
program
Yeah.
is that this temple is a place. So
You step through this threshold, look around you, and you realize that you are home.
of course I am.
Welcome back.
You hear that burp as you feel the friendly hand.
I just watched Logan again yesterday, and I'm just fucked.
Feel your best friend Kale, or that is what most of the humans who trade with him call himself, or that he has them call him. Slap his hand on your back. He offers you a glass of honeyed wine.
Kale, what is the occasion? Like, does it? Okay, let me. I have to ask a meta question. Does this feel natural to me? Do I understand that?
You feel like you're home.
Okay, perfect. I'll play it that way.
You just
Low
you-
intelligence. You're there.
Thanks, dude.
it does not feel like an illusion. It feels weird because you just stepped through some mist and then all of a sudden
It is
Like it
not
was-
VR chat, my dude.
it felt like it was like all a bad dream, and you are awake and you're home, and in a familiar forest, and then you are like looking around, and then you hear a burp from behind you, and your buddy hands you some mead. And he says, "The occasion, celebrate with good friends."
Oh, but of course, I'll drink the mead, take a big swig, and then hand him the glass, as is for Bolg tradition to share.
Though our hunt was not successful, it was not meant to be. Let's head back.
Agreed.
And you guys travel a few kilometers through forest that you've known your whole life and missed the last few quote unquote months or weeks rather. And it's not long before you stumble across your village once more. But with all of your friends and your family. You see a few other hunters who went out successfully. Had brought meat back, and everybody sits down and cooks and eats together, as is tradition for you furbolgs. And everybody breaking bread and discussing the happenings. And it's home. You are in your village with your people, your family. Your tribal elders are doting out blessings. And you feel like you're missing something. Like your lighter. Roll me an intelligence check.
Good luck, my dude.
Good. 16.
Okay. Can you hand me your character sheet? Dead. Tear it up.
You piece of shit. I gave you your one session of relevance.
Here you go. You realize you're lighter, and you didn't realize it until like right now, as you kind of like put your hand over your heart, as you look at your elder, the village elder, the one that taught you the path of the druid, who taught you the circle of the moon, and taught you how to transform. As you see the living oak necklace that was taken off of his body is on yours, and it feels like a nightmare. To think that he would be dead and that you would be wearing it, but you feel like in some past life, in some dream, you wore it.
So he's got it on. And I feel like at some point it was mine.
Yeah, in fact, like you have this like flashback of like you taking this necklace off of his body and wearing it, like you've known its weight before. But that's never happened, and here he is in front of you guys.
Okay.
What do you do, my dude?
I guess I would just kind of... I guess Carric would be overcome with the feeling of that he hadn't seen everybody in a long time, even though
Yeah.
it's like a natural thing to be among family. it's like it's difficult to describe, but there's like that little pang that's like you haven't seen these people in a long time, and there's that cognitive dissonance of like, wait,
Yeah, you definitely feel like both apart and separate from things. You're feeling this sense of like anxiety and happiness and dread and like elevated levels of excitement all at the same time.
I look around to the borders of the village.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see anything?
Just your huts. You see your family's tent, or at least the tent that your family bequeathed to you as they passed on.
I'm gonna go to the tent.
Sure.
Go home.
Yeah, step inside and see the shrine made for your ancestors, your parents, your grandparents, all the Furbolgs who have lived and died, that their traditions and teachings could be passed on through written communication. It is in this way that they live on through you. And it is customary to like pray to your ancestors and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So these shrines are not uncommon in people's homes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very commonplace for anyone who knows of their ancestry to honor.
Okay. Is there anything that I would recognize as like something like that would be instantly recognizable as like an artifact of my parent or like my family?
I mean, Furbolgs don't really have a lot of belongings themselves. They're not very vain creatures.
Right.
Very simple. The shrine itself, like like whichever parent passed along first to the other side would have made a stone that they would have inscribed with their spouse's name and placed it in the shrine. Behind you, entering the tent, is your village elder who kind of took you in when you were younger. And he walks over to you, places a hand on your shoulder. You left early. Not had some time to talk. Something weighs heavily on your heart. I can tell.
Okay. So in this scenario, like, am I living a memory or do I know?
That you are living your reality.
Okay.
This does not feel... It feels like everything that you have experienced so far has just been like a daydream. Like you went out to go off with your friend Kale, hunt and explore, and in that time, you feel like you had a daydream almost, like waking thoughts, all these things that have occurred and these great grand adventures, and then you think to yourself like, our time has passed.
Okay.
This is not where the Furbolgs lie. This is not our path. And as like you shake yourself out of this like mental adventure, this daydream that you're having of going off and doing these things, that's when your friend Kale kind of like breaks the
Sure.
the thought.
So back to the scene.
Yeah.
So I'm with the elder. Okay. Elder, it's nothing. I had a strange kind of aside as we traveled back to the village of wars and humans and things far, far away from here.
Let's not forget about here. No matter where you go, you must never forget yourself, these lands, your loves. And he takes a stone and he has his name on it. And he hands it to you. You must never forget to honor us as those that you have will honor you when your time comes. If you are lost, so will be our ways. And he kisses you on your forehead. And see, he takes off his necklace, puts it by the door of your tent, says, honor us. He walks out your tent. You are left on the other side of your home, stone in your hand that has his name. Usually that is reserved for somebody who is dead to be placed amongst the other stone wall in your home, embedded, be honored dead.
Is that all that's to this? Is this just inscribed with his name? And
That's what he hands you, and that's what you're next to.
okay. I'll examine it and place it in the shrine, next to the stones of my family.
It embeds in the wall, as all of the living stone is meant to do, and is absorbed into this family, people and creatures, who have been a part of your family in one way or another. And it feels like you let out a breath of air that you've been holding inside of you for a long time when you did that.
I'm going to I'll pick up the necklace.
Sure. Pick up the necklace, you put it on, and as you step out from your hut through the door, you are greeted with a all too familiar nightmare. As you breathe in the smoke of the forest burning, and you smell the carnage and blood in the air. As you
You're gonna need this.
as you behold a large branch wrath. You think back and you know what this creature is, but you have no prior knowledge of what it is. But you see it tearing through many members of your village.
I'm going to not yet. I'm going to cast Flame Blade and
Sure.
charge it.
Roll me percentile.
Be careful.
Okay. You try to summon your blade of flame, and it just smoke appears in your hands. You look up, you realize there does not appear to be a sun or moon, or day or night. some kind of feel like all of the tides in the world have disappeared. All of the solar energy gone, that which feeds your powers. Roll me a nature check.
8.
Okay. You know without a lunar element, shifting is not possible, and you know without a solar element, a lot of your like evocation magics is not possible. You know that it requires neither to do ritual magic, but ritual magic takes time to set up. You have to actually do basically the same stuff Nicodemus does, where he's like drawing circles and shit like that. You know how to do that for some spells.
I'll take my staff out and draw the symbols for entangle.
Sure. You are like drawing the symbols for entangle basically, and that's going to take you a little while. So as you're doing this, you see the creature tear through a home altogether. But you do successfully see some of your Furbolg friends run off into the woods. And as it tries to give chase, you see your friend Kale run over and stab it with a boar spear.
Cry out to him.
And he looks back at you. And he shouts, "Run!" He slams the spear into the creature's chest. And it like rears up for a moment. Force of a giant, like. Roll me a. Well, I guess this would be nature. Yeah.
10.
Okay. You successfully, next round, you successfully crafted the symbols for Entangle, and now you can begin to actually cast the spell. So in your next turn, the spell will go off. All right. And you see the creature swing out at Kale as he like ducks underneath it and twists his spear and rips it out. Goes to swing again, but the creature also like jumps back a little bit. Somebody shake the coals or put the head on. Dude. And then your spell goes off. You see the elder name you put in your wall. As your spell starts to become cast, you see him like lift up his hands as he summons this orb of energy. Like feel your vines get emboldened by the strength of this as they twist and round out around the creature. And the elder is like hobbling his way over to you. Kale runs nearby to you as well. And the elder says, "We must create our own strengths here. We are to survive." And Kale says, "Do what you must. I shall make time for you all to leave, save the others." You know that Kale is more of a warrior than he is a fighter of discipline, much like his ancestors were when the men and women of the Furbolg race lived amongst humans and were called Thanes or Housecarls, their former kings. See him prepare to charge the beast once more.
Kale, Take the elder. Go. I will stave the beast.
The elder looks at you. What will you do?
I'll call on the power of nature. I will light the bitch up. I don't know. I will call down the fury of lightning and burn this beast.
He looks at you, and he says, "Who will carry on our traditions?" I am dying.
No.
You have already made it so. My name eternalized upon our walls, thanks to you. You carry my beads, our spiritual symbol. There is nothing left for me here. And,
I will not leave.
He hands you a small script, and you recognize these as like runes in carving. And he says, "Cast this now."
I set to it. No questions.
And he says, "Kale, buy him time. I shall join you shortly." And you see Kale say, "Of course, honored elder." He charges back into the vines as you see the branch wraith rip free finally from the vines. As he charges once more headlong into him and stabs him in the throat, like green blood, like throw everywhere on the battlefield. And you see the branch wraith like basically kick out his legs from underneath him. Trips and falls to the ground. What are you doing on your initiative?
I've make sure I'm carving my good symbols, following orders.
You notice that the orb of light that he like let up like a balloon starts to like dissipate and slowly disappears. The elder like drops his staff, which you recognize as the staff that you carry today, as he starts to walk towards the creature. We get to next round, and you see the branch wraith like basically lift up his hoof or his foot and like step through and crush your friend Kale. And as you finish the circle, the elder is basically going to finish within feet of the branch wraith. And you hear him say, "I am already dead, but so are you." And as you finish casting your spell, roll me a nature check.
10.
You recognize the spell. A beam of lunar energy swirls around you, forms this great halo of very voluminous lunar energy that pours out over the and as you feel the radiance of this white light touch you and the elder shapeshifts into this giant bear, like colossal creature, like 4 or 5 times the size of a normal bear. He crashes into the creature and like tears into it. And you see the branch wraith like put its limbs through the bear consistently, striking home. You see the elder inevitably tear the creature in half before the lunar light fades away, and the elder shapeshifts back with the fading of the light. And he falls to his knees. Beckons you to come over to him.
I rush to his side.
Honor us. Do not forget who you are. Do not get lost. Be who you were born to be, not what you have made yourself. And amongst the fire and the smoke dies in your arms, you see a door right on the outskirts of the village. Just a door present, almost as if it's always been there. The hinge.
All right, go to the door.
As you open the door, everything around you turns dark as it almost like pulls you forward. And all three of you, once more, feel the weight of all of your hands on your shoulders.
Hey.
You all are staring at like each other, super like clandestine and broken. You know that each one of you just went through some shit.
Oh, I died again.
And somehow that does not surprise me. You sound like you had the more predictable one out of all of us.
What gave you that idea?
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
A nat 1, so that makes
Sure.
it a 6.
No problem.
What do you want me to roll into?
No, nope.
Okay.
Not at all.
You perceive nothing.
What are you guys doing now that you're in this hallway?
I'm going to kind of break rank and just kind of go to my knees.
Sure.
Which I'm still taller than both of you.
Guess I'm gonna look at myself and see that I'm not encased in that badass armor that I was encased in.
You are no longer the Guyver unit.
My weapon still a light.
It is not.
Okay.
It's actually not even in your hand. It's
Okay.
still on your back. Yep. Oh yeah, right where you left it.
It was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Meal alone.
I mean, it was like you guys didn't even.
Go anywhere.
Yeah, and like you look back and Vane's like,
You did.
I'm just going to thumb my my necklace.
yeah. Roll me another percent. Not one.
7.
7.
It's a 2 now.
Moving on up.
As you are helped back up to your feet, Canyon, feel something heavy in your clothing, kind of like bump up against you.
I'll feel for it.
Yeah, and you pull out a stone that has your elder's name.
Oof.
You know, when you left the village, you do not have the timer inclination. You guys just see pull a rock out of his robes, like a smooth stone.
How did you bring something back?
I know not.
Well, if it's here, it's probably very important.
More than I can explain.
As you guys, well, Bane's behind you. The hallway is still goes. You.
I'm going to grip the stone and just start walking.
Follow suit.
You guys walk through. Eventually come to another set of double doors. Seems to be like a bigger room. Significantly larger. As the hallway starts to go from narrow to like expanding. Well, I've set the scene today.
So we're just in front of the double doors. We haven't opened it yet.
Do we proceed?
We haven't come this far to not have questions answered. And I proceed towards the door.
Sure thing. You guys, you open it with both hands. In cue to this Lord of the Rings music we're listening to. Both doors are thrown open. You are in this incredibly large room. It's like a hall almost, made from the same stone with stone pillars lining it. Before you is what appears to be this like Leonin creature. Has a mane around his head and braids woven into his skin, or his hair rather. It's like he's kind of like got a mix of like this. In this mane is like dreadlocks and braids and stuff, and he has two odd looking swords on his belt, and his hands kind of end in like claws, like cat claws almost, and his feet that like weird inverted thing.
Or it's backwards.
Yeah.
Like the animal.
Yep, with like cats and dogs that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And he is like wearing like a lacquered breastplate, several layers of plate on his shoulders and on his legs. Shin bolts as well, before they end in like the little kitty paws. As he turns to face you all. Greetings. Been some time since those who sought enlightenment have come to be tested.
Hail. And that's exactly why we're here.
Well met.
We wish to be tested.
I am Lysos. I fell here. I did not learn bad for me, but it had to show me. Tell me, what have you learned?
Is he motioning towards me? I have learned that even in the brightest of places, there is always darkness waiting.
And you?
That I should probably think before I act.
You.
That even in my pursuit of vengeance, I must never forget who I am and from where I come.
Indeed. To forget darkness is to be absorbed by it. Fight the thing that you hate. Embrace it. Love it. Die by it. And bury it beside yourself. No consequence. Accept it. Be prepared.
Be prepared. Had to.
Having a fucking moment here.
I was going for the Simba moment earlier.
You he's got like one hand on his sword, and you just hear this like slowly slides out of its scabbard as you do that. When you stop, he like takes his thumb off of it, and the ends does not always justify the means. And for you,
There's no sage advice here.
that was pretty loaded. But I think you're picking up what this place is putting down. To pursue vengeance. Dig 2 graves. May all proceed next level. Should you choose. Though I did not survive. Either.
No, I'm feeling pretty inspired.
I would go out and exercise the lessons that you have learned. Lest you fall prey to the same thing I did. Arrogance. There's a second lesson in all of this. One that I did not comprehend. Hubris. Thought. What lies at the bottom of this. I was not worthy.
So, I'm sorry, what was his name?
Theosis.
Leosis. I'll take a knee to him.
Sure.
Once again, still taller than you guys. And I'm just kidding. Stupid.
You want to climb on my shoulders, put him in his place?
No, it's fine.
I'm just gonna kneel down and say, I am grateful for your lessons, Leosis.
They are not mine.
Got him.
I am
Brown
simply
noser.
trapped here. Much like you will be if you fall here. A lesson to all who come. Do you wish to proceed?
The extra burdens we now carry, we're not strong enough to continue on.
Then if you go back the way you come, I have a request.
What is your request?
He takes both blades out, like scabbard and all, from his robe or from the belt, and he like wraps them in the silk of the belt, and goes like this, and says, "Take these back to Prince Vane. You will find a more suitable place for them."
I will go up and take them.
Thank you. Kind of like turns around and kind of walks away.
There's a JRPG thing where he just turns around and stands there.
Yeah.
Staring into the void. All right.
All right. Well, now I got these swords in my hands. Let's go. Let's go back down that hallway, boys.
Sylvain.
Yep.
No, just kidding. No. Okay. Let's go.
You guys head back, and it feels like it's a shorter walk out of here than it was through here. and meet Prince Vane up the stairs. And he kind of almost immediately fixates on the blades. Take it you all made it through.
We
and met the former master of this place.
We come bearing gifts from him. I go and present the blades to him.
He takes them. To Leosis, these blades are his soul. It is good that you brought them here, so that way I may bring them out of the depths. His soul does not deserve rest there. I shall find a more suitable place for them than the hedge. He takes them.
And I'll kind of grip my stone and say, indeed, those that we care about deserve more veneration than to be lost.
Though you all look worse for wear, there is more hope in all of your eyes than there was in all of the world before you went down here. I hope whatever was illuminated to you is enough. And it's like nighttime by the time you guys come back out. So he's like basically getting ready to go to bed. But you see him like take the blades and like put them in like a little shrine before he goes and beds down. And that, gentlemen, is when you crawl into bed, and we will call it for this chapter.
Real quick, before we do that. Where's Nicodemus?
Reading books, hanging out, flipping pages.
Yeah, talk to him real quick.
It's got like a little mag light in the dark, just going over some pages. He doesn't actually have a mag light, but yeah, you get my picture. It's got like some candles nearby. And he's like, "What's up, Chief? Pop a squat." Is that on the bed? And he's like, "Don't actually sit on my bed. You might break it. You can sit on the floor.
I'm used to it.
You can kneel down and still be taller than me."
This is a meme. So, I think it's time that we returned home.
Yeah, I get that. I've gained pretty much everything that I need here. I've copied everything I could fucking write down. Learned a bit more about the ley lines and such. And yeah.
Perfect. Shall we set out at first light?
Sure. I think we should eat first. But yeah, first light, 3 hours after that, sure, whatever. What's the difference?
There's like 7 suns. I don't know when first light is.
I pass by and I'm like, what is time?
Yeah. Well, you have no idea,
What a
friend.
concept.
Odd thing for a paladin to say. Anyway.
I've seen some shit.
Yeah.
And sleep well, my brothers. Tomorrow we return home.
Nicodemus is like, to whatever's home's left. Right?
And then the camera pans away as we all collectively roll our eyes, and
then,
Nicodemus
like,
is just
the
like,
fucking-
What?
Say the music from fuck, what is it? Like Curb Your Enthusiasm comes on. Everybody's like, that Nicodemus.
Jeez.
All right. Well, this has been a Metavillains production of Aurok and Roll every Friday. I was your DM. Jared is Enraged. You can find me on almost all social media that way. You can also find us regularly on Twitch, almost every weeknight. And you will find video uploads on most Saturdays and Sundays. Joining me today, we have
The Bone Daddy MacGyver Makolo, MTBS, if you will.
Hey, Makolo, where can people reach you?
Makolo is Instagram, and I did make a new Twitter, but I haven't posted anything on it yet.
What is it? Because I'm going to go spam
Makolo
the shit out of it.
TBS.
You're welcome. I gave him that one.
Nice.
Because all the other ones were taken. And the one you told me to check, like, just do it. Of course, that was taken.
Which one was it?
Rap music.
Rap music.
I'm curious to what is rap music. Like, what was the account? Was it just somebody's account?
I didn't, because I was on the screen to type it. So when I typed it in, it was like, this name already exists. So I didn't even look.
We'll go look it up later.
Yep.
All right. And I'm Dan. I play Carric. Just got my heart killed. So
Same.
I'm
Same fam.
I am Roll Critical Fit on all the social medias. Find us on
And real
Twitter,
quick,
Twitch.
we know that Roll Critical Fit is our sister channel, but what is Roll Critical Fit, Dan?
Oh, so Critical Fit is my tabletop themed fitness program that I made that it makes working out fun and interesting for anybody who likes tabletop role-playing games and games in general. Check it out, Roll Critical Fit. You can find it on Amazon.com. Just search for Critical Fit. And check us out on Square, and you can buy one of these sweet dice carriers in the shape of a kettlebell, which you can see on our overlay. And that is a shameless plug.
Yeah, so basically, you can play D&D with your friends and not be a giant fat piece of shit.
Yeah. I wouldn't say quite like that, but
I'm
still
gonna be a fat piece
It's
of
true,
shit.
true. It's true, true.
he's
What you got over there?
The true.
the true.
We're watching Cloud Atlas. Okay, anyway. I don't have anything to sell or plug. I'm Chris. Hi. I play Turkyr, the Paladin. You can find me on all social media.
Sell your plug.
Somebody, what?
Video.
You can find me on social media at I am the Neckbeard, pretty much on anything. I will have a video out on the Metavillains channel on YouTube Sunday. I go into a lengthy discussion about Resident Evil 7, so if you're into that, you should check it out.
It's real good, guys.
Yeah, we just proofread it tonight. It was good.
Apparently, I didn't proofread it enough, though.
It was fine.
Arsenal.
I'm just going to keep it there.
Almost no one's going to notice.
Everyone will. It's the only
Yeah,
fucking
of
YouTube
course.
comment will be.
It'll be
Everybody's
from you, too, because I honestly didn't even notice it until you said anything.
Yeah.
I didn't either because it didn't like give me a spell check error.
It's not gonna. That's a noun still.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's been fucking rad having you guys here. It's been rad being here with all of my compatriots, and I will see you all next week. Hopefully, I won't be feeling like dog shit, and we can get a better session.
Yay.
Hey, bye, guys.
Stop the streaming.